spoke to you about RFID chips, it was about a man who'd insert one into his palm to open his car door. Interesting as that may be, we found a little bit more useful sort of way to incorporate RFID chips into our world, into our life, and into our food. This is James Allard, co-founder of Blue Sea Sushi. James, thank you very much for having us. Explain to me what you've sort of created here.
Sure. This concept is called kaiten sushi, and kaiten relates to the turning of the conveyor belt. It means turns in Japanese. The way kaiten sushi works is that the sushi comes by on different colored plates, and there are 5 different colored plates. Each is a different price. So, for example, the orange plate is this is a $2.25 plate.
What do we have there? What is it?
This is salmon nigiri, made by our chef. Right there, Rudy.
Okay.
And the way RFID plays into this is that the underside of each plate is tagged with an RFID chip.
Okay.
And it tells us when this was made. It tells us how long it's been on the conveyor belt. It tells us what it is. Okay. And it helps us reduce waste and helps us increase the efficiency of our operation. And if you'd like, I can take you in and show you how he does all this.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do this. This is so much fun. Come on. Okay. Behind the scenes at Blue Sea Sushi. All right, James' son has brought me backstage at Blue Sea Sushi, where you're going to tell me how this process works. What's going on?
So this is how the magic all works. This is Satoru's son. He's our main chef here at University Village. What Satoru's going to do is he's going to make more salmon nigiri for us right now. And he's going to commission the plates. He's going to make the sushi. He'll put the sushi on the plates, and then he'll put the plates on the belt. Okay. Okay?
And then what's reading it? Is there scanners involved, or how does that work?
So there's an antenna in this cutting board.
Okay.
And then there are readers around the belt. And so we'll show you the antennas in the cutting board and the commissioning process first. Okay. And then after that's done, we'll show you how the readers on the belt interact with the plates themselves. Okay. Okay?
So you can narrate.
So Satoru has just taken 5 empty orange plates, and that's the proper color plate for salmon nigiri. And you can see that the antenna is reading 5. It says, I've got 5 empty orange plates here, and it's asking Satoru, what should I do with this? And so Satoru will now commission the plates by pushing the button on the screen. Yes. Salmon nigiri, and it says, do you want to make these 5 plates? Orange plate salmon nigiri. He presses OK. And so now the system knows that these 5 plates are going to be salmon nigiri on the plates. So he will proceed to make the salmon nigiri. And when he's done making the 5 plates in the batch processing process, as it were, he'll go ahead and put them on the conveyor belt, and then the antennas around the conveyor belt, the readers around the conveyor belt, will read that these are on there. If you look to the upper right-hand corner of the screen where it says salmon nigiri, it says 4. That means there are 4 plates of salmon nigiri on the conveyor belt right now. If someone were to take one off, that would be reduced down to 3. And as Satoru puts one of these salmon plates on the conveyor belt, you should see that number increase up to 5, up to 6.
And so here we have Anush, because you're wondering, how does this relate to Microsoft? Well, everything does, I'm beginning to learn. Anush is the product manager. How did this come about?
Oh, James first came and said the email that I got was, I'm from Jay Allard and I want to do RFID. And I thought, woohoo, I'm getting some extra.
Jay Allard just emailed me. Woo, give me a Zune.
Yeah, and hey, hats off to James. I mean, RFID has been around for a while. World War II used them to track friend or foe aircraft. And when, James came and said, I want to use this for tracking sushi, I said, get out of here. And that was my first reaction. Yeah. But when you thought about how far this technology has advanced, going from just, expensive chips on assets to using it for business efficiencies.
Because, this is RFID technically, right? It's my little, it opens doors for me and things.
And that's high-frequency RFID. What he's using here is ultra-high frequency, so it can read from a longer range if he wants to, as long as 15 feet, if you will. And so what it does is basically lets software systems, we build platforms for a living, right, be physical world aware, if you will. Where are my assets? When did they move from place to place? How long have they been on a shelf?
Sure, yeah.
And so taking that information and the reports that come out of it and utilizing that information, and with the BizTalk RFID platform that we've just released, James and his team of 3 people built the system out in a month.
Well, he's a visionary then. So where is RFID? It's so hard to say. Where is RFID technology going in the future? What's your guys' next step?
Well, when we started, it used to be called RFID.
Okay.
Now it's
That's
RFID.
easier. Gosh, I'm going to start saying that.
I think we're really poised at a place where it's going to go into mass adoption, if you will. Everything from tracking, animals to traceability to documents, to expensive assets, to things like, the last talk that I had was with an NFL sportscaster who wanted to know, where a certain person was in the field. They wanted to put an RFID tag.
Yeah. How do you feel about chipping your children?
Well, that's an interesting question.
My kids are going to be chipped. You better believe it.
When they're 16 to 18, I think I want a chip on them. And then after that, it's fine.
I would say the reverse, like when they're little and can't take care of themselves. You're all, as soon as you know what to do, I'm tracking you.
Hey, different things for different people. There we go.
We're all about tracking and GPS and honing devices. Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. The sushi is not chipped, and let's grab some so we can vouch for that. The wave of the future. All right, very interesting stuff, James. Now, I can see how this may benefit you, but is all this technology and all this excitement and all this RFID awareness going on unbeknownst to the customer?
At the moment, it is unbeknownst to the customer, but there are real customer benefits. One, we think it's really going to improve our quality story.
Okay,
because,
how so?
Well, we have a very clear indication of how long things are staying on the conveyor belt.
Sure.
We also have a better ability to predict customer behavior and what they're going to want. That should reduce their wait time as we kind of understand our data and analyze our data more and more.
So you can read, like, at lunchtime, people really love the tuna.
Right. Well,
but at night, they want sake.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. So we'll know it at 2 p.m. on a Monday on a sunny day that we should increase the make of California rolls, for example, so the customers don't have to wait. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, that will decrease the wait time and increase our turn time, so it's a business benefit as well, but we do think it's going to improve the customer experience. An RFID system allows us to know what it is that's on that plate, which chef made it, how long it was on the conveyor belt, what time of day it was taken off by either a customer or by the chef.
Yeah.
We track our waste, right? As I said, we're better able to predict customer behavior. So this implementation of an RFID system in a Kaiten Sushi conveyor belt environment, we think is revolutionary. We haven't seen it before.
Absolutely, and I've never seen it before. And speaking of seen, where do you see it going in the future? What are some of the advances you hope to make? If anything, I can see where it'll benefit a waitress.
Well, there's a couple different things, actually. Phase 2 is we want the ability for the waitresses to have essentially an RFID wand reader where we'll have a stack of plates.
Coming from an ex-waitress, this is heaven.
Okay, well, we're trying to make everybody's job
I'll write it down,
easier.
note and pad. Awesome.
Because right now the servers, they tally the plates at the end of the meal, 3 green, 2 red.
Yeah.
But with an RFID wand reader, they can just wand the plates and send that wirelessly back to the point of sale system and print out a receipt that says you had 8 California rolls and 2 spicy tuna rolls. It'll be easier for the servers. It'll probably cut down the number of mistakes they make inadvertently, but we all make mistakes. And ultimately, I think from a business perspective, it's going to allow us to roll out the concept much easier than it would otherwise have been. Now we have a real operational system and a story to tell in a way that we can instruct and teach our managers why the system is important, what it is, and it's part of the whole Blue Sea Sushi education that will allow us to open more restaurants more aggressively.
Hopefully, and everyone out there, adopt RFID technology in your restaurants because it makes for a better customer experience and owner experience. James Allard, Blue Sea Sushi, is there a website?
www.blueseasushi.com. C is the letter C.
Awesome. Thanks so much.